So for those who are just joining us, what you see on the screen is the leadership system. And almost like when you walk into the shopping mall and you see that red dot that says you are here. So this is where today's conversation sits in the leadership system. So customer acumen is one of many capabilities that we build with our clients as we empower current and future leaders. The question on the table, what is customer acumen? Our definition, to build on that understanding, is applying a commercial understanding of your customer's business to better prepare, align, and communicate the value of your product or service. So it's that commercial aspect, adding that commercial aspect to your understanding that perhaps differentiates how we think about customer acumen.
The big thing that we're also doing is I'm not going to say reskilling, but just ironing out the edges with the account managers and trying to reach out as far as you can. So it's like trying to correct your swimming stroke. So with a customer, think about the customer's customer. So the whole time is outside in thinking. So what is the impact of this for my customer and for my customer's customer, all the way right through to the edge? And I was just doing some new hire training introduction, and my biggest advice is to the new hires is forget about Cisco for the first while and go and see your customer and learn as much as you can about your customer, because then you'll be speaking their language. So that means, annual financial reports, KPIs, understanding, but have that sort of EQ as well, because you can't just arrive at a customer and go, hey, please tell me about your KPIs, or like, it doesn't really work like that. You have to have those subtleties. You have to have the EQ. So the financial business acumen is important, and the EQ is also important.
So 3 things I think is earning trust, clearly trusted advisor, giving advice, and building relationships. Now, they're very nebulous on a human scale. So a salesperson has to work particularly hard to build those 3 things, and they can do it a number of ways. And again, so I'll go back to how salespeople were trained. Initially, salespeople were trained to find out about the customer's needs. That's called solution-based selling. That's moved slightly to consultative selling, where they're more around trying to understand the customer's business. So the first thing a trusted advisor needs to be doing is thoroughly understand the business. Now, it's not just around the customer and their daily operation, but it's around what drives the market forces, which drives the business for the customer, understanding that to an X degree. The other thing they need to understand is what business the customer is actually performing in. So in healthcare, you could say a customer is looking after patients, or a surgeon is, looking after the patients they operate on. But in actual fact, a surgeon is trying to make a living out of their business. So understanding their business, whether it's private hospital, public hospital, what drives the money through those hospitals, what models are used in place. So need a really strong background and depth of knowledge in that area. So if we're going to help our customer, commit yourself to that task. Now, I know that sounds very obvious from a sales perspective, but certainly in my time in selling over many years, it often isn't the case. Customers are let down by small things, deadlines, etc. So make sure that we do what we're going to say, follow up in everything, and also have a very strong opinion on how we move forward. But that opinion has to be facts-based, and you need to be certainly, you need to have a good opinion which has got, some substance behind it.
So we at Cisco have, I'm going to call it a big red button. So when we have a catastrophic error, issue, problem, whatever, anyone in the organization, from the most junior to the most senior, can push the big red button. That's when all resources from the entire world will come to help solve the problem. And again, back to what Chris said is, I think that's where we actually shine the most, where customers turn around and go, you were actually there for me when things went badly wrong and my rubbish didn't get picked up and things didn't work. So, because I think maybe many, many, many years ago, people would run away when there's a problem, but this is actually the big red button to get everybody to run to the problem.
We run sort of at about a 99.3% service rate. But if you look at those numbers in what we call our commercial industrial space, so even if you're operating at those high levels, that was the peak. We've had challenges like everyone has had with worker shortages, driver shortages, and those sorts of things. But still, that's 13,000 things that go wrong a month, right? So the ability to deal with that, is really, really, really important for us, and we're still on a journey there. So yeah, business is complex, but you've got to make it simple. You've got to distill it to the simple things for our people and for our customers, because if we portray this complexity to our customers, I think that undermines trust. It makes it much more difficult to build that trust. So I think that's a key role that we play